Welcome back. It's your boy Minor Melvin here with another exclusive. This time we have the PS4 Scuf Vantage controller. Look at this mighty fine slice of technological beauty. Yes, the PS4 Scuf Vantage controller. We've been scouring the earth inside, outside, looking for a plausible contender for the Xbox One Elite controller. Look at this bad boy. Look at the build, the body, the girth of this controller. Ooh, it's a sexy mother.
Cut.
Hey, what?
You're doing it again. God damn,
what are you talking about?
Put your pants back on.
Huh? Oh. Well, listen here, mister. You just ruined your Christmas bonus for the year. What it is, my people, it's the Kid Sincere, your resident Gold Chain Gamer. And as anyone who subscribed and follows me knows, I am a huge fan of the Xbox One Elite controller. I honestly think that this is the best controller ever made. I love this controller from the build, the customization. I'm a huge fan of this controller. Even the OG Xbox One controller I really like a lot. But the problem is, it's on Xbox. Yeah, I know. No shade to Xbox. I game on Xbox. But a lot of the people I play video games with are on PlayStation 4. They had Xbox 360s, but this gen, they migrated to the PlayStation 4. So I like to play video games with my homies. So I want to play there, but I want to play with the Xbox One Elite controller, and I can't. Now, of course, I know there's methods to doing such. I am not into that kind of stuff. So I've been looking for a controller that's comparable to the Xbox One Elite. So I've, dibbled and dabbled. I've got the FPS Dominator for your regular controller that you attach on the back, adds paddles and mods and all that other stuff. Still not a huge fan of it because it's really not just about the paddles, but the feel of the controller. The DualShock 4 is fine, but I'm just a bigger fan of the Xbox One controller. Then you have the Nacon Pro Revolution Volume 2. This controller is not bad either. This is a pretty good controller, but the features, the paddles on the back are just weird, and it feels almost too wide for my hands, which is strange because I like bigger controllers. Then just recently, I bought the PS4 Scuf Vantage controller, which I said that I wouldn't when it was released. I was interested as soon as I saw it at E3, but I didn't want to make the jump. This holiday I did. I have the controller. I've been playing with it for about 2 weeks, and I just want to give my overview of it and compare it to my favorite controller of all, the Xbox One Elite. So let's just start with the Scuf Vantage. I thought it would be heavier. I did. I thought it would be a heavier controller, but it's not bad. It's not light. It feels good in your hands. The grips on the back. The paddles, I like the two paddles on this end, but the ones in the center are harder to reach than the Xbox One Elite controller. It has a lot of customization. You can remove you can remove the face plate, like so. Take the buttons off. You got longer sticks for accuracy. They have sax buttons on the side. You can remove the triggers. You can tighten the tension in the triggers. You can map the buttons on board on the controller with the switch on the bottom, which I think is convenient because you can do it in game. You can also they also have a switch for USB and Bluetooth. So if you want to play wireless, you can. If you want to play wired, you probably should, especially if you're playing like Call of Duty or any shooter that you're being competitive in. Maybe even a Dark Souls type game. You want that one-to-one action. So there's a lot of things I do like. I even like the audio bar where you just kind of slide your finger across it to turn the volume up and down and mute your vocals for chat. So there's a lot of things about this controller I like. In fact, outside of the Xbox One Elite controller, I pretty much like this one second, even to the OG PS4 DualShock, or even the Nintendo Switch's Pro controller, which is a great controller in its own right, but I kind of like the Scuf Vantage better. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna compare the two, the Scuf Vantage and the Xbox One Elite to see which one comes out on top. Now, you probably know, well, from what you said, you like the Xbox One Elite controller, but I want to make a strong case for the PS4 Scuf Vantage controller. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna break it down into 3 categories: features, build, and playability. So let's just start off with the features. Like I said, the removable faceplate, the removable joysticks and D-pad, the sax buttons on the side, the tension in the triggers, being able to put trigger stops on the back of it, and the audio bar all make a case for this being a great controller. And the customization, being able to buy new faceplates and new joysticks of a different color to kind of make it feel yours and to your own, is a great feature. So compared to the Xbox One Elite that does have removable paddles, which the Scuf doesn't, joysticks, D-pad, tension in the triggers, actually not tension but trigger stops, I like the features on the Scuf more, even though this does have an app for you to just fine tune it the way you want to, which I love. I love that that app is on board. But I think as far as customization and things you could do to the controller, I like the Scuf Vantage more. So in the features department, I would give the up to the Scuf Vantage, even though that controller app for the Xbox is awesome and you can pretty much do whatever you want with this controller. Now, build. Let's get into the build of the controllers. One, the removable magnetic joysticks are genius. The fact that everything's magnetic, it has a heft to it, like steel. It's not quite steel. You can just pluck it off and pluck it back on. It feels weighty in the hand. It feels like you're holding a real solid piece of technology in your hands. Everything feels good and crisp. This is a mighty fine controller. Even the rubberized front for grip, when you're holding on to it like this, and the grips in the back. This is just a well-made controller for 150 bucks. I know that sounds steep, but all of these are premium controllers. They all cost a lot. But this is a very well-built controller, probably the best. Now, I heard some people say they had problems with their Elite, with the rubber coming off the back of the grips. I've had this since release, and mine's is pretty much fine. I do have a little bit of lift here, but not much. Now, the Scuf, this probably was the issue I had out of the box. It didn't feel like quality. Now, of course, you can open the faceplate and remove the rumble to make it lighter. Take the rumble right out. And I think that's a cool feature. I turn rumble off on first-person shooters anyway, so it doesn't really matter to me. But I do think that that's cool, but it doesn't feel as quality as the Xbox One Elite. Even the plastic joys, which for the most part, most controllers have plastic joysticks. But you're thinking, okay, this is an Elite product. You would think they would go with that magnetized metal approach that the Xbox One Elite introduced. They did. They went with the plastic joysticks, which are not bad. I don't feel like I'm gonna break the controller in half, like holding it. I don't feel like I'm gonna rip it open or anything like that, but it doesn't feel as quality as the Xbox One Elite controller. It just doesn't. It feels a little cheap, just a little bit for the price point. Talking about 2 bones here. Doesn't feel like 2 bones worth of controllers, but you're probably paying for the features, everything being on board. You're paying for the actual tech inside of this build, which is not that great, but Scuf did a pretty good job, or as best as they could with what they had. Because I'm pretty sure if they included everything that's in this controller and the features of this controller, it might be like 300 bucks, and I don't know nobody's gonna pay that much for a controller. You gotta be a pro making big bucks to pay that much money. So as far as build goes, I give that to the Xbox One Elite controller. It's just a I wish everyone did this, man. This controller feels so quality. The minute you open it up, it just, you know you're getting a very quality product. And the minute you play and have it in your hands, you know it's quality. This controller is awesome. Playability. Now this is the part that I had probably the most back and forth with, because the Xbox One Elite controller has an app for you to adjust the dead zones and the joysticks, you know, the triggers, even the rumble in each trigger. So playing with this is just a treat. I've never had a problem playing with this controller. Now the Scuf Vantage, a lot of people had problems early on, but they patched that out with the 0.08 patch. Mine came with that on board, and I haven't had an issue out of this controller yet. In fact, man, this plays like a dream when I'm playing first-person shooters. Everyone knows I love that COD Black Ops 4, and this is the best controller to play that game with. I mean, this is it. Once you play with this, you can't go back to this. You can't. You just can't go back to the OG PS4 DualShock after you play with the Scuf Vantage. You can't. It's impossible. And I think that playability wise, this is the definitive PlayStation 4 controller. Now, of course, Astro's coming out with a controller next year. You do have the Razer Ryujin tournament. You got a bunch of controllers out there, even the Nacon Pro. I still think the Scuf is going to win in that fact that it has the form factor of an Xbox One Elite controller. It feels very much similar to that controller. So as far as playability, this is almost like a draw. But let's just say I'll give the edge to the Xbox One Elite controller because of the customization in the triggers and the joysticks. And that's something that you can't do with the Scuf controller. So you can't enhance it and customize it to your playing style. You just kind of got to work with what's inside of the controller. That's why they was able to patch the mistakes out. See, this won't need patching unless something was just terribly wrong, because you can literally go in and just adjust everything. I'm talking about the dead zones in the trigger. Maybe you want it to be like a hair movement, and you can do that. Same thing with the triggers. You can't do that with the Scuf. And I think that maybe Scuf should look into making an app where you can do that and adjust all those things, you know, hook it up to a PC and adjust it in app the way you do on console with the Xbox One Elite controller. So to put a nice big bow on it, I think that the Scuf Vantage is a good controller. I don't know if it is for the price point. I don't know if you want to spend that much money on a premium controller. But let's just say hypothetically you on the market looking for one. This is the best one on the market. Hands down. It's customizable, it feels good in hand, and it does exactly what you want it to do. Especially if you're playing first-person shooters. Because honestly, I think these premium controllers are trying to emulate the control you have with a mouse and keyboard and putting it on board to a controller. That's what these are made for. So if you want that level of customization and control, I think the Scuf Vantage is the way to go. And you can deck it out and make it the colors that you want. You know, eventually I'm gonna make this thing black and red because everybody, I'm GoldChainGamer, but I do love black and red. Right now, I'm too busy getting kills and raking up score streaks and Black Ops to really worry about that. And the Xbox One Elite controller remains the top dog for $150. It's actually cheaper than every other premium controller. I got this Nacon Pro. I got this on sale for like 80 bucks. And it's not a bad controller. This is not a bad controller. I didn't want to compare those two because it's the easy win for the Scuf. So I wanted to compare the best with the best. So the Scuf Vantage, PS4 Scuf Vantage controller, great controller. The Xbox One Elite controller, the best controller. Two good controllers for two good platforms. They're both premium, not freemium. They're premium controllers, so know you're going to pay a decent amount of money for them, but I think you'll get the bang for the buck, especially if you play first-person shooters, like I said. Now, eventually, I'm going to compare all of these PlayStation 4 controllers, the Nacon, the Scuf, and the FPS Dominator, which gets slept on for 40 bucks. This is a $40 mod that just basically turns your regular controller into a, you know, premium controller. It's pretty cool though. It is actually cool and it functions very well. I played a lot of Destiny with this. I did. Cool. It's definitely cool. So I'm gonna do a comparison like that for the PS4 controllers. Maybe once the Astro come out. Hey, maybe you're in the market for a premium controller, maybe a PS4 Scuf Vantage, Xbox One Elite, whatever it is, leave a comment, let me know. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you think a friend would like this video, hit the share button. And if you like all of this, subscribe to the channel for more content. Check me out on Twitter at sincere_GCG and on Facebook and Instagram at GoldChainGamers. In the meantime, between time, listen, I appreciate y'all, but make sure that y'all hit that like button and leave a comment so we can grow and make this even bigger so I can review more products so I can take the hit so you won't. Plus, I like doing this. I think it's kind of fun testing out all these forms of tech. I really do like this stuff. And I appreciate y'all for watching. So remember, it's more than a game. It's a lifestyle, y'all. I'm up out of here. Peace. Wait, you still here? Well, since you're here, subscribe to the channel or check out my last video. Either way, thanks for watching and cheers, I guess. Now, how do I take over the world? Step 1.